We're going to pin our pattern pieces on to the fabric. And this is just enough fabric to fit these on. Occasionally, if you have to, you can put your pattern like this as long as the fabric works that way. Generally speaking, as much as possible, you want to have it run the length of the straight grain, which is parallel to the selvage. So what you're really super important is you want to make sure this line that's running down the length of the fabric, or pardon me, of the pattern piece, which is called a grain line. You want to make sure that grain line is completely parallel to the selvage. That's super, super, super important. You can never skip that step. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use my tape measure. I'm going to line up the end of my tape measure on that grain line. And I'm going to measure how far it is down to the selvage. And in this case, it's from the 0 to 45 and a half. And I'm going to keep that number in my head, 0 to 45 and a half. And I'm going to repeat the process on the other end of the fabric. So straight grain there, straight along the line, and I want 45 and a half. That says 47, so I have to move the pattern piece to make sure that I've got 45 and a half. I have to shift it a little tiny bit, making sure, of course, that the pattern piece is staying on the fabric. So I've done that for the back piece, and I'm going to repeat the process for the front piece. And I do the grain line pinning first because I've only made 2 pins. If I have to change anything, that gives me lots of time. I'm going to repeat the process on the other piece, making sure that they're not touching, they're not overlapping. Okay, I'm going to go from this line, and I'm going to measure once again from the line to, I've got 21 and a half. So I'll put my pin there, and I'm in my head, I'm going 21 and a half, 21 and a half, and I'm going to see up at this end, just move this down, make it a little easier for me. There to there, that says 24, and you can see that's not straight. So I'm going to straighten that out and hope that I've got 21 and a half again. Shift her a little bit, 21 and a half, and I can put my pins there, and now I can put my pins all the way around.